Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. It's just a couple minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. It's time to start the long drive north. Just left Louisiana and entered into Mississippi. Well, I already made it through Jackson, Mississippi. I guess the next big town is Grenada, and then Memphis. It says I have 529 miles to go yet today. I've been driving for almost 3.5 hours. Well, I stopped and filled up with fuel back there. And I got a Subway sandwich for lunch coming up here. It's 11:45. It says it's 41 degrees, but there's a breeze out there, so when I got out of the truck it felt pretty chilly. Melissa said it's 11 degrees right now up in, it was at the farmhouse when she left for work, so it's going to be an adjustment. Just crossed over into Tennessee. Whole trip, this stretch of Arkansas here is the only place where there's a 75 mile an hour speed limit. Everything else, the highest it goes up to is 70. But the Arkansas roads are so bad that I rarely go over 70 because it's so rough here. Oh, we just crossed over into Missouri. Well, I made it to Bowling Green, Missouri. The hotel, the room in the picture looked nicer than, I mean, this isn't a bad hotel, don't get me wrong. I've stayed in some pretty raunchy ones in the 9 or 10 years I've been doing this trip, but I never know if it's Bowling Green, if I'm going to do the 2-day, or if I want to stay in Troy. and I should have driven to Troy. But like I said, this isn't a bad room, and it has a door right to the outside, so I can get out to my truck without having to go through the lobby, which I like. So it's not bad. It's a place to sleep. I'm exhausted tonight after all that driving, so about 9.5 hours to drive tomorrow, and I'll be at the farmhouse. Good morning, everybody. 10 minutes after 6, 29 degrees, and it'll be roughly 10 hours. I mean, it's actually a little over 9 hours of actual driving, but I'll have to stop and get fuel and stuff, so should be to the farmhouse in about 10 hours. GPS says I have 582 miles to go. Stopping and filling up with fuel, even though I wasn't even down to a half a tank. I always stop at this Flying J. It's just almost at the Iowa-Missouri border. Alright, that's it. I should only have to stop one more time before I get to the farmhouse today. And I'll have to fuel up and get something to eat then, and that'll be it. 7:43 in the morning, 29 degrees. Just crossing into Iowa. Just going through Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I'm going through the Waterloo and Cedar Valley, Iowa area. Usually it takes me on this route that kind of winds through these little towns and eventually hits Minnesota, and when you cross the Minnesota border, it doesn't even tell you you're in Minnesota, the GPS. But I opted to take a route that's going to take 5 minutes longer, but it'll shoot me out to Interstate 35 earlier, and then it's a faster, just a straight stretch up without going through all those little towns and all the single lane roads. Still skirting northern Iowa, and that's the, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it was a whole spread of goose decoys out in the field and a blind. And when I was back a ways, I don't know, maybe 20-30 miles back, I saw two, like those 6x8 pull behind enclosed trailers, and they were black with goose silhouettes painted on the side of them. So they must have been out goose hunting too. I couldn't see their spread though. And I didn't know what that was, if they were just parked there, but now I saw that whole spread. That's kind of exciting. I would love to do some goose hunting right now. I have my shotgun and steel shot in my truck. I see people out there ice fishing. Just about to merge onto 35, going north. That'll run me all the way up to the farmhouse. Just crossing into Minnesota. I'll stop here and get fuel, grab something for lunch. I was just thinking, I don't think I've seen the sun since I left.
Turn left onto East
All right, last stop before the farmhouse. And I tell you, 19 degrees is not 40. It's chilly out there. On the trees. Melissa loves to go out and take pictures of that. I'm in Hinckley, Minnesota right now. That means I have 1 hour to go. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. That was a long drive. I will see you guys on the next video.